Welcome to the Courageous Moms Podcast, a place where moms like you, facing the challenges of a child battling addiction, can find faith, hope, and connection. I'm Christie, a mom walking this road alongside you. Here, you'll be reminded that you are seen, you are loved, and most importantly, you are not alone. Together, we'll uncover the courage within us to face each day and embrace the grace that carries us through. Let's lean on faith, hold on to hope, and take this journey one step at a time together. Hey Mama, and welcome to the very first episode of the Courageous Moms Podcast. I'm so glad you're here. Whether you're listening on a drive, folding laundry, or sneaking a quiet moment with your favorite cup of coffee, know that this space is for you. I'm Christy, and like you, I'm a mom on this journey of loving a child who is battling addiction. It's not an easy road, but it's one we don't have to walk alone. This podcast was born from my heart's desire to connect with other moms who are in the trenches, to remind you that you are not alone, and to help find strength, peace, and hope along the way. When my son began this battle in 2019, I felt completely lost. When I say I literally felt like I had been punched in the stomach, that is where I was. I was sitting in the middle of my den on the floor, not knowing what to do or where to turn to or just what to do next. Juggling being a mom to my other kids, a wife, a friend, a daughter, a sister, and honestly, I was just trying to hold it all together. Lots of times I felt like I was failing at it. If I had $1 for every time I said, "It's fine, I'm fine, everything's fine," secretly crying inside, I would have a lot of money right now. I actually have a shirt with that saying on it that my mom and I were at the beach and she saw the shirt and she was like, "You need to get that," and I did. So maybe I will post a picture of that. Fast forward, we're in 2024. It was hard to find support groups that were just for moms. Like, there are lots of things online. You can go to lots of websites, but when you're walking this road, you need other moms who have been there, who've gone through the same things. When I say that, you never want any mom to experience what I've experienced or what you've experienced if you're going through this, like, we really mean that, because you do not want to see your child going through this. But if it is something that they're going through, you have to face it, and you cannot do it alone. Realized that I kept a lot of things inside, and I realized I couldn't do it on my own. I needed my family, my faith, and a tribe of people who understood. That's when I began to think about God's promises and opening up to people and finding strength that I didn't know I had. And that's why I created this podcast, to share that same hope with you. I always said that I would never share my story publicly. And wow, when God lays something on your heart, like, He keeps putting it there, which is why I actually started supporting moms online about a year ago through my Instagram, if you want to follow me, at Christie G Stutz, and my website at christiesinspirations.com, because God kept nudging me, saying, "You need to share this story. You need to let other moms know that they're not on this journey alone." And yes, I did talk to my son about this, because I felt like I needed to get his blessing that this was okay, since I would be sharing things, about our life. I know his journey is different from mine, and he has his own support system, and moms need their own support system. And yes, he was very supportive about me doing this. So the podcast is something that I wanted to do and had to get to the point where I felt comfortable with sharing. I still don't feel 100% comfortable, but I know that there are moms out there that have, responded back to me, and there are things that we need to know that can help us while we're on this journey. Things like keeping the faith through all of this, like setting boundaries with love and effective communication. There's so many things that if you had someone to guide you or help you, that would make it so much easier. I wouldn't say easy, but I would say can help you get through this and find the joy in real life things other than constantly worrying about your child and where they're at and what is going to happen. So this is what my passion is going to be. First of all, faith is very important. Faith has been my anchor. Even when the storms felt overwhelming, I like to hold on to verses like Psalm 34:18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. That reminder has carried me through some of my darkest days. And I want you to have that same faith and trust also. Family is another huge part. Let's be real. Family can get really messy when you're walking this journey. There's lots of emotions, but this is when we find moments of grace when we have our family with us, whether it's a late night talk or doing something with our other kids or just little things. We want to see the good in everything, and family is just so important, and we don't want this to tear our family apart. There have been so many families that this has just torn them apart, and I don't want this for you. You do not have to have this tear your family apart. This can make your family stronger. Also friendships, having friends who get it and support you and are there to listen to you is so important. And my friends will tell you, I try to hold things in. I try to say I've got it all together, but they know me so well, and they know that that's not true. They know when I'm quiet or when things are going on. I'm looking at my pair of pink sunglasses that if you listen to my trailer, you heard me talk about, which I was on a girls' weekend with some best friends from high school, gave me a surprise birthday party, and I love pink. So they gave me these big pink sunglasses. And so these are my rose-colored glasses. I think you should get a pair too. If you don't have a friend that you can turn to like that and lean on, I want to be your friend. I am here for you. I've felt the same things you're feeling. I want just to find practical ways to find strength on this journey. When we talk about self-care, you're like, I don't know if I should be thinking about myself. It's hard to think about yourself when your child is struggling, but it is so important. Self-care is not selfish. It is necessary. And self-care is not just things like taking a bubble bath. It's other things too, like to get your mind right, to take a little bit of time to wind down, to not focus on the heartache you're going through right now. So we'll talk about ways you can find self-care, journaling, writing things down, fears, prayers. It's hard to write things down sometimes because it makes them real, but I found that, maybe writing things down will actually take a weight off of you, and you want continually think about what you're writing down, all your fears, all of that. Setting boundaries, that is a huge one. I feel like that is one thing moms who are on this journey struggle with, and it's not easy. It is not easy to set a boundary, but it is a form of love for you and for your child. It will show them that there are certain things you will not tolerate, and if you're open and honest with them, in my experience, it actually helps them and it helps you. Like, they know what's not acceptable, and you know that you're going to stick to what you say to them, which is going to help down the road. Also, celebrating small victories. Sometimes you're just a mom making it through the day, and that's a win. And, celebrating small victories for your child. If they come and talk to you, that's a small victory. If they are sober for another day, that's a small victory. Like, we need to look for the small victories in this rather than focusing on the negatives and the worries and the what's going to happen next. Trust me, there are so many of those. There's so many nights I stayed up. I was looking on Find My Friend's location. I got in my car and drove to see where my son was. I can tell you so many different things. That's why I want to be here to support you. If you think about it, we're not meant to share this life alone, which I think is so important. I never want you to feel like you're alone on this journey, because you are not. You are nothing else today. Please hear this. You are not alone. You are stronger than you think, and there is hope, even on the darkest days. If this episode spoke to your heart, I'd love for you to subscribe and share it with another mom who might need some encouragement. I also have a free ebook that I will link below that I wrote for moms who were going through this, because if I'd have had a resource from another mom when I started this journey, I think I would have been a few steps ahead of where I was. My ebook is called A Mother's Love, Navigating the Journey Through Addiction with Hope and Strength. I would love for you to get a copy of this book, and don't forget to connect with me on social media at Christie G Stutz. And before we go, I would like to say a quick prayer for you. Father, thank you for the moms listening right now. Give them peace, strength, and the assurance that you are walking with them every step on this journey. Amen. Remember, you are brave, you are loved, and you are never, ever alone. Until next time, be kind to yourself. You're doing an amazing job. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the Courageous Moms podcast. I hope you're walking away with a little more hope, a lot more strength, and the reminder that you're never alone on this journey. If today's episode resonated with you, don't forget to check out the Courageous Moms Toolkit. It's packed with resources to help you find peace, set boundaries, and navigate this challenging season with love and grace. You can grab it now using the link below. And if you're looking for a supportive community of moms who truly understand what you're going through, I'd love for you to join the Courageous Mom Circle Support Group. It's a place where you can connect, share, and find encouragement from moms walking the same path. Before you go, always remember that you are not alone and you are stronger than you think. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode of the Courageous Moms podcast. I'm Christie Stutz, sending you love, hope, and strength. Together, we can find beauty through the struggle, and yes, sometimes through rose-colored glasses.